Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH underscore sports. Anyways, today I want to show you this one card that I got. We got it through the business. We'll eventually sell it. We got it for 20 bucks, not bad. It's Rolly Fingers, the pitcher, reliever, and it's his autograph. Back it authenticated. And guess what? It's under 20 bucks. Shipped, by the way. So, not bad for a Hall of Famer. So, yeah. Anyways, in regards to the topic, I wanted to talk about the flight to safety. So, in the stock market, whenever the economy goes down, there's a flight to safety. Sometimes sophisticated investors go to treasuries. Sometimes sophisticated investors play the defensive end and go into stocks like Walmart because people still need everyday goods, even during economic hardship. So I'm coming up with the list right now, and I would like all of you, if you have any sports cards that are in your flight to safety list that you plan on purchasing should the sports card market continue to tumble. Once again, I believe it will tumble. Now, it's not going to go down in a straight line, in my opinion, like it did last year from the top in March all the way to right now. You've pretty much seen a downward move in all of the high end cards, a lot of the high end cards, especially when there's more liquidity in those cards, when there's more sales. When it's a scarce card, you barely see any sales, then okay. Yeah, you may not see a straight line down. Anyways, here are a few cards that I'm looking at. And once again, I want you guys to let me know what you're looking at. The first card that the first card that I got into in sports cards was the Jeter number 279. I started speculating in those cards before he got into the Hall of Fame. And I was buying mainly BGS 8s, BGS 8.5s. I think I bought a BGS 9 as well. And I sold them all before the pandemic, or right around the pandemic, I was selling them too. Regardless, one card that I regret not buying was the Jeter number 279 PSA 9. The PSA 9 card, what I noticed in 2018, the stock market was going down. And I noticed this card was around $3,000, a little over $3,000. I was a bit iffy putting 3 grand when I was first getting back into this game. So I stood on the sidelines. And then what I noticed was that card went up to over $6,000 or close to $6,000 before the pandemic. And then it crashed down to around the same level, around $3,000 in 2020, about 3,300 ish, around that range. And then, because of the unique nature of the pandemic, the cards just went insane. So that $3,000, $3,300, it went in over a year close to $27,000 as a blow off top. Now that card has gone down to roughly, I think it's $9,000, $10,000 as of right now. You have to remember, baseball is on strike. You're in the off season, so that card definitely has taken a dive since November. You could say that it's taken a dive since the beginning of last year, but I'm just looking at it from a seasonality play. So I expect a bump up, even if the stock market continues to be volatile until the beginning of the season. But I still don't want to buy it at $10,000, $11,000 because I've seen it at $3,000. So I would like this card to be around, once again, $3,000 to $4,000. Market crashes, I want to get in. Population size, I believe, is about 620, so it's not that bad. And you have to remember, Derek Jeter was the captain of the Yankees. He won 5 World Series. He was a likable guy when he was a player. I'm not sure if he's a likable owner, but as a player, everyone liked Derek Jeter. People didn't like A-Rod. A-Rod has a better image after his career, but once again, Jeter is the go-to guy, in my opinion, in a downward market for baseball. Another baseball card that I'm looking at is a Mickey Mantle, a number 311, a 1952. And that card, I noticed before the pandemic, it was slightly under $10,000, the PSA 1. And it's what, hovering around 30 some $1,000. So if the market were to correct, this card has been holding strong in PSA 1, by the way. But if the market were to correct and you're seeing it with all these other cards, high end cards, if it goes under $10,000, that may be a buy for me if I have the funds. There is the 51 Bowman Mickey Mantle card as well. That's more affordable. Now, that card has been in line with how the sports card market has reacted to most cards. So, if you get, for instance, a PSA 1 going to pre pandemic levels, I believe that was around a few grand, I may dive into it. So, those are the two mantles that I'm looking at. The other card that I'm looking at is the Fleer 1986 Michael Jordan card, as I mentioned. So I saw this just through the tweets the other day, or today. Darren Rovell said this a few weeks ago. He said that Michael Jordan cards, those were the Fleer 86 card, that was the third most card that was sent to PSA. So there is a supply issue with the Jordan cards. Granted, everyone wants the Michael Jordan card, okay, in the sports hobby. But now that's the third most cards sent in December, and the first two cards that were sent in December were Mac Jones cards, okay? So you have approximately 23,000 Fleer 86 cards that are graded. On the high end, you have close to 320-ish PSA 10s, PSA 9s, close to what, 3 grand? And then I believe the PSA 8's about a little over 8 grand. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And now you have more supply probably going to the market. So yeah, I don't want to touch Michael Jordan cards right now. It doesn't make any sense. Granted, if we have the market continues to go down, that's a card that I want to look at. And I showed you some graphs yesterday. And I showed you some people were paying what, 75, 80,000, $90,000 for PSA 9 cards. And in the sale yesterday, according to PSA's website, one of the sales was $17,000. Okay, that's not good. It went from what, 80,000 to 17,000. I know Golden has an auction that's going to end tonight. Golden tends to be a little higher than eBay, granted because it has the name Golden behind it. I think that is trading around $19,000, but they have to pay more because of buyer's premium, and I believe there's sales tax too. So there is more people just pay more on that website. Maybe because they trust his website more than eBay. Regardless, and you have the high end folk buying those cards. Regardless, before the pandemic, the PSA 9s were under under $10,000, and if it's hovering between $17,000 and $25,000, the market continuously tanks. I want to buy it close to under $10,000. Who knows? It could even go lower than that. But from a supply demand perspective, that's what I'm looking at as a price target. Granted, just looking at past graphs doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the price that you're looking for. PSA 10s, I don't think they're going to go to pre-pandemic levels of somewhere between $18,000 to $30,000. I think those days are over because there was more demand in these cards after the pandemic, and there's still going to be a lot of people in this card hobby after this, even with the meltdown that I see happening. The last card that I'm looking at, I showed you in the other video, is the Bowman number 236 of Tom Brady. Now, I don't believe I'm going to be able to afford a refractor card anymore. In 2019, I said this before, I could have bought a PSA 9, a PSA 7 Bowman refractor number 236 for about $8,000. I thought that price was ridiculous. It's now selling for what, 50, $60,000? It's insane. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get that card in an affordable price, but potentially a chrome or even just the base card. And told you that I believe that card is going to be going down because right now it's the height of the football season. The Super Bowl is going to be in the next week, so his cards are going to remain hot. And the last sale of a PSA 8, I believe, was about $2,000. And the PSA 8s are cards that I'm looking at because of the liquidity. Right now, I think the pop side is close to 1,500. That will continuously go higher because people still are going to be sending these cards to PSA over time. But regardless, if I could get one of those cards again for about 600 to 800 bucks and the market's going down, I'm definitely going to look into that card for sure. And I saw a comment yesterday and it stated, yes, the Brady card should go down. Now the question is what price? Yes, that's the question. What price is it going to go to? And you have to remember, with all of these cards, even though I say it's a flight to safety, the number one risk in sports cards is liquidity. If liquidity dries up, all these cards could just come tumbling down like crazy. You have to remember in the 1990s, the Ken Griffey card everyone wanted, I think it's the 89 upper deck. It went from 1600 to 100 during the crash, and now it's what, over $2,000, I believe. So it's picked up its ground in a bull market. But what happens in a bear market, even of Tom Brady? Now, I don't see that Tom Brady card going to $100 like the Ken Griffey card. The reason is Ken Griffey didn't win any championships. Brady has 7. So that's why I don't see it going to $100. The only thing that could make the Brady cards collapse, or the Jordan cards or Jeter cards go way down, is if they do something really dumb, OJ Simpson style, or if they have any connection to creepy lady Maxwell. I doubt that will happen. Those are high class individuals and they present themselves well when they're in public. So I doubt they have any of that going on. But that's just a potential risk that I see happening. Maybe Brady, if he ever got caught cheating, like using roids, I doubt it. But if he ever did, okay, that's the potential risk with these. And the other risk is if you thought you bought a real card and happens to be a fake. There's stories about fake slaps these days. So those are potentially the only risks. That's why I like to diversify my assets. It's not only sports cards, but some precious metals I look into. The stock market, even though I believe the stock market's probably going to be going down. I think everything's going to be going down in the next few years. But that's why I'm just putting a list right now. And I am curious, if you don't mind sharing, what are your cards in your flight to safety? I am curious. I know a lot of people are going to say MJ, Jordan, Brady, Mantle, but some people may have other cards that they're looking at. Some people may be looking at LeBron. Some people may be looking at Kobe. Some people may be looking at Clemente. I'm just curious what you guys are doing. Anyways, guys, let me know. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.